that was really my introduction to Drizzy, you know what I mean, and what he was doing and bringing to the table, and that whole campaign, and just moving like how we move, and just really, peeping work ethic, being around Stunning, just really how they, they've been on the road for like, years, you feel me, just far as like really owning a tour bus, not just renting it for a couple months, just really like living on the road and really adjusting it, you know what I mean, like I said, I learned from every situation. I definitely took some from that situation, but for the most part, I don't even write. No one has ever written anything for me, period. And it'll catch up eventually. I never I'm a person that really believes that God gives you talent and he could take it away. So I don't really like to brag and boast. I kind of let it speak for itself. Right. So like I told you earlier, a lot of people underestimate me. You know what I mean? So it feels good to have high when they come out, like my expectations exceed. Like the cipher was something that, I don't battle people. Everybody know. I told Shaka straight up, I swag on people. You know what I mean? I do whatever, you know what I mean? But I know how to do this. I know how to put words together. I really believe in what I'm saying and what I'm doing.
I heard you almost missed that cipher.
Yeah, I did. It was the craziest thing it was crazy, but
what happened?
Shout out to my dog Luda, but he told me at 5:30 to be on the plane at 7:30, but I wasn't
ready.
I wasn't even dressed, I had on. I wasn't even driving. I was in the city with my pop, and I got a text, and he was just like, "Are you in the city? The cipher's tonight." So my reply was yes, and where? So he was in New York. So I just I was in College Park, in Atlanta. I wasn't even okay, cool. And so 2 minutes later, he was like, meet me at the jet at 7:30. I forgot Chris has his own jet.
Right.
I'm tripping. So I'm So I call him. He's like, yeah, the cipher tonight. I'm like, tonight? Wait, in New York, we're going to fly it. And so I was like, I only had an hour and a half. And people that know me know I like to get groomed, like to get my swag together, like to take a bath.
Right.
All of that before I go anywhere. So I'm like, Pop, shoot me home. And so, I try to take a shower, pick up some trues, a jacket, just try to get some things together to go to the. And so I try to get a quick, line up. And then I'm just realizing, yo, for real, this is impossible. I felt like somebody was just laughing at me because I was just,
you on pump.
Yeah. Picking up stuff. I just felt like somebody like this. I felt like they were already gone. So I finally hit them 7:28, straight up, bro. I really appreciate it, but it's virtually impossible for me to. Go home, babe, be at your jet and you know what I mean? But I told him I appreciate it. So he called me and he was like, the window for traveling, I guess was 20 or 30 minutes according to his pilot or whatever. If I could be there, he'll wait on me. Just so happened that day, I have a Porsche and it really works.
And you got there in time.
I got there in time and, it was a little thing and I got there and I was a little all right, what we doing? He was like, cipher, you know what I'm saying? You seen it? I'm like, yeah, I seen it, but I'm in it. What we doing? He was like, over a break beat, 16 bars, I'm like, can I hear the beat? I need to hear it. So he's like, I need to hear it because I'm rapping. So that made me feel better. Okay, you in the cipher too?
Right.
So he's like, yeah, fool. I ain't, you know what I mean? So that made me feel better. Then seeing Busta made me feel better. But I didn't actually get the beat till I landed. I landed in, what is it called? Teterboro?
Teterboro,
yeah. So however long it takes you to get from Teterboro to Brooklyn, because that's where the shoot was at.
Right.
That's how I came up. I came up with 16, in my head on. And people, I just put this out there, I don't know how to write bars. So I was using Luda's iPad, so I was like, I hadn't been around him in so long. I was like, for real, dude, tell me where to stop at, for us 16s. And just like we used to do back in the days, he just laughed, that's terrible. You don't know how to count bars. So he was like, 46, 47 seconds is when you need to stop. So I got it back. So I got 47 seconds of raps. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So here come BET, and we like, okay, check this out. We got Busta downstairs. Okay, Chris, we got you and Busta doing 24s. I said, hold on. You just said 16s. And he was like, well, I think, because I think DMX was supposed to be in our cipher or maybe Game. And Chris is basically saying, so when they dropped out the cipher, I think anything goes. So I'm like, can I see your iPad again so I can kind of build some more stuff? So they nah, Primo just setting up, him. So I'm like, okay, cool. And that's when I'm walking around when I come up with the glaucoma. I'm just trying to build because I've done this before. Shout out to Young Money. I've done a song with Wayne, 12 bars. Think you hear a hook sound.
Right.
He raps 40-some bars.
Right.
I was like, bro, you don't hear the hooks? And he's like, what hook sound? So it's like, okay. All right, I see how we I'm not going over this. I'm not doing this again.
Right.
So, I know, even though Busta did 50-some bars, I just knew, because I know Crit was like, did they tell you to do more than 16? A couple rappers that's my peers, did they tell you? And I'm like, really? I just kind of stressed it. But anyway, it was a blessing. It came out well, you know what I mean? And, it made me a better person.
I asked T.I. this yesterday. Why do you think the ATL rap scene has fallen off a bit?
Me personally?
Yeah.
A lot of those dudes, you know, for the most part, got wealth. I mean, got money. You know what I mean? And when you get money, your hunger, in my opinion, you don't have the same hunger. It just don't make you want to do the same thing anymore. You know what I mean? As far as, you know, it's just a certain Earl. You got a mansion, you got a Ferrari. It's just certain things that, I mean, you doing it, you still love the music, but for the most part, like, people don't understand Jeezy has a successful clothing line. I don't think people see, I do my research and, like, dude really don't have to put out an album if he don't want to, or to it when he gets comfortable. Like that 8732 banging in some M's. I know for a fact because 100 clothing lines trying to get with me, and I'm learning more about how this thing works. You feel me? The same thing with Tip. When he went to prison, his clothing line went up, I think, 20%.
Right.
And I'm talking about M's. So for a person to still be doing music, they love it, know that. But they not really stunned what the bloggers say. At the end of the day, this is a love. Chris has a mall. He has I just told you I took his jet up here.
Right.
Like, he doing it. He hired me to be an A&R on his new project. It's his 8th album. He just kind of whatever.
And plus the cost of living in Atlanta is light,
like,
so you got M's in Atlanta. You a king for real.
Yeah, I don't even have, like, M's. I just bought my first mansion off this Codeine Cowboy mixtape. I have 22 acres like Luda.
So is your album's coming out November 1st? Yeah,
it's a mixtape, but it's straight album format. People that's been following my campaign, they know I do photo shoots, I do video shoots, I do virals for everything. So this one right here, the production is up to par definitely with, of course, Drummer Boy and Lex and a few other guys that I've been messing with on the team. And then as far as the features you heard earlier, I got, you know, people that I basically look up to and that are fans of, and that's Jadakiss on a joint.
You gonna leave us that joint, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's One Day at a Time. I rock with that. I got the song called Letter to the Rap Game, produced by M16. I got Raekwon on that joint. I got a joint called Murder featuring Krayshawn. I got a joint called Slangin' Birds with Jeezy, Yo Gotti, and Birdman. So basically, I just try to show labels and everybody that I can do a lot of this stuff.
Now tell the labels what you told me yesterday. They still have time.
Before November 1st to buy this.
That's right. Labels, if you want to buy this album.
And I got my Meek verse back last night, so it's definitely looking bad for, like, for me just to be putting out this music. I know people are like, what the hell, you know, because
But you're making a lot of money though, shows.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I just told you I bought I just told you what I bought.
T.I. said yesterday, T.I. said you in particular, well, you and Future, but he said that you got the game on the ropes right now, so now you just got to finish. So he said these next 3-4 months are critical for you to get to that next level. Like, what are y'all planning to do?
He's been very supportive, man. Like, for real, bro. Like, we never had any kind of communication before this last prison stint, like any besides high and by and throwing deuces. Like, we actually, I talked to him on the phone, you know, last night. We actually talked. I actually talked to a lot of people these days.
But things change when you get hot.
Yeah, I see.
But it's also because T.I. and Ludacris didn't get along, and you were.
I was in the middle of all that too, so that was fun. You know what I mean? But we man up, like, you know, to talk about all that and to see where everybody came from. Like, being in Atlanta is not like New York. Y'all got boroughs. Somebody can talk junk on a DVD. Be way over there.
Right.
In Atlanta, like, we just run up on you at the Quick Trip. Yeah. Like, what's up? It's like. And it's so like reality. And like you say, everybody can have a tool. It's like, so people really just try to figure out a way to make this get along. People know what people grandmama stay, because you from Atlanta. People grandmama never move.
2 Chainz, we get the mixtape album November 1st. Now
if they
labels,
don't buy it.
Now labels, if you're out there, you can buy it. You just got to pay for the clearances.
You got to pay for the clearances and the production and pay me.
And
it's
you can
already done. I'm getting it mastered this week. I've already shot a video.
Right.
You know, I have my cameraman on the road with me.
Right.
You know, everything's there.
To labels, you can get this.
This is, you know, I've done all your work. I've A&R'd the project.
That's right.
But if one of your guys want to take the credit like they do me, you can take the credit and say you did it. It doesn't matter. Just make sure the check is straight. We can go direct deposit. And then we can move on to something else, because I'm excited about working on another project. But this True Religion project, and I spell it REAL, is because I feel like being real is a minority.
Get that album's mixtape November 1st, 2 Chainz. We appreciate you hanging with us. It's The Breakfast Club on Power 105.1.